Today I am going to explain your 10th standard English SR-4, the word of happiness, and this is the last SR of your 10th standard English. So the chapter name is the word of happiness. This is written by Louis Jude. So let's come to first para. In ancient days, there was a very poor area in Tibet which had no rivers and good land, no warmth or fresh flowers, no trees or green grass. The people who lived there suffered from hunger and cold all year round and did not know what happens was happiness was like. Despite this, they still believe that happiness must exist somewhere in the world. So, in the Asian days, there was very much poor people living in the Tibet. So they had no rivers or no good lands. There were no warmth means cold, heat or there were no fresh flowers, no trees and no green grass. So the people who lived there were suffering from hunger and cold all year. So every year they were suffering from hunger and cold and did not know what was the happiness. So did not know they did not know what was the happiness. Despite this, despite all of this, they still believed that there is the happiness must live in the happiness is living somewhere in this world. So this is about first para. Let's go to second para. The folk used to say that happiness was a beautiful bird living on a snowy mountain far, far away in the east where the bird flew. Happiness went with it. Every year people want to look for this bird, but not one of them did ever return. The bird of happiness was said to be guarded by three old monsters who could kill a man by simply blowing through their long beard. So the old people who used to say that there was a bird of happiness. Beautiful happiness is not is a creature; it's a bird. They are saying that was living in a snowy mountain far away in the east. So whenever the bird flew means from which place the bird travel, that place is full full of happiness it becomes afterwards. So every year the people from this village used to go to see the bird of happiness, but no one had returned till now. The bird was said to be so the old people said that the bird was guarded by three old monsters who could kill the man by simply blowing through their long beards. So let's come to third para. Once an extremely bright boy called Vanjia was sent to find the bird of happiness. On his departure, the girls of the village offered him barley wine, and the mother, in according with Tibetan custom, spread barley grains on his head to wish him a good journey. So after this much of people going in search of that bird, they did not return. So once a bright boy called Vanjia was sent to find the bird of happiness. As he was going towards that mountain, the people the people of the village and the girls of the village give him a barley wine, and his mother gave him the barley grains for a good journey to be a good journey for him. So this is about third para. Vanjia walked eastwards for many days until he saw ahead of him a large mountain covered with snow that shone like silver. Just at that moment, an old monster with a black beard appeared in his path. So Vanjia walked for many days. So he want to see that a large mountain where the bird of happiness lives. He wanted to search it. So he wanted to search the large mountain covered with snow. Shown it is looking like a silver. Just at that moment, so when he find it at that moment, a old monster with a black beard. So a old monster as first monster has came, as in second para they said, the three monster protect the bird of happiness. So first monster, the black beard monster, came appeared in his path. So let's see what happened in fifth para. So in fifth para, who who goes there? He cried like a crow. How dare you come here? What are you after? So the black beard monster asked, who is going there? He cried like a crow. So he cried like a crow. So he says then, how dare you come here? What are you after? So what are you after? So after that in sixth para, so Vanjia, my name is Vanjia and I have come to look for the bird of happiness. So after that Vanjia says that my name is Vanjia, I have come to look for the bird of happiness. So let's go. In seventh para, laughed the old monster. How could a little child like you, no longer than an egg, dare to set foot here? If you want to find the bird of happiness, first you must kill Lao Zhang's mother, otherwise you will be punished. I don't need to do anything myself in order to kill a funny little thing like you. I will just make you walk 900 miles across Cree and you will done for. So after he says, I want to see the bird of happiness, Vanjia says. So the black beard monster laughs and he says, how could a little child like you, no longer is looking for, because monster is big, is looking him like a small egg, dare to come here, means set foot here, means come here. If you want to find the bird, so he says, if you want to find the bird of happiness, first you must kill the Lozeng's mother. So if you not kill his mother, I will punish you. I don't need anything myself so he don't need any weapon or anything to kill the Vanjia. For him he is looking like a funny little thing like you. He said, I will just make you to walk 900 miles across. Screes means an area of small loose stones, especially on a mountain. So small loose stones and you will be done for. So this is about 7th para. So sorry, let's come to it para. Vanjia replied, I love my own mother and I will never kill any other person. Do as you please. The old monster flew into a rage. He immediately began to blow through his beard, and in the twinkling of an eye, the smooth road became a vast scree. Every stone on it was as sharp as a knife. So as Vanjia replied, I love my own mother, and I will not kill any another person. So he says, do what you want to do. So the old monster became angry and he will immediately blow through his beard. So he will blow through his beard, and in a twinkling of the eyes, means in a twinkling of an eye. So it was a smooth road, it became a vast scree. Every stone on it was a sharp as a knife. So this is about it para. So in ninth para, let's come to ninth para. After the first 100 miles, the soles of Vanjia boots were ripped apart by the stones. After second 100 miles, his feet were cut to pieces, and after the third 100 miles, his hands were torn to shreds. So after the first 100 miles, the soles of the Vanjia's boots were ripped out apart from the by the stones. After the second 100 miles, his feet was cut into pieces because it was like a sharp as a knife. And after the third 100 miles, his hands were torn out from his body. So it's about 9th para. So let's come to 10th para. This is though going, he thought to himself, will I ever make it? Had I better turn back now? No, never. He could not bring himself to turn back. He knew that the people at home were waiting for him to bring back happiness. So after this much happening, his knees were torn and his hands were also torn. He thought this is the thought in his mind was going on. He thought himself, will I ever make it? So will I meet word of happiness? Had I better turn back now? So he thought I may go back now, but he thought no, never. I can't go because The people of the village were waiting for me to bring the happiness to the village. So let's come to 9th para. When Jia lay on the ground and began to crawl forward, his clothes were torn, his knee and shoulder were brushed. Finally, he reached the end of his journey, and there he found another old monster with a brown beard and a voice like the whistling wind waiting for him. So Vanjia did not leave the hope. After that, Vanjia lay on the ground and began to crawl forward. So his clothes were very much torn, and his knees and shoulder were brushed because he was walking from his shoulders. So finally, he reached the end of the journey. So he thought he reached the end of the journey, and there he found another old monster with a brown beard. So in last, it was a brown black beard. He asked him to kill Lee Song's mother. But in this, let's see in this in brown beard what he will ask, and a voice like a whistle wind waiting for him. So let's come to 12th parent. If you want to see the bird of happiness, hold it the monster, you must poison old gaffer Silong first. If you won't do it, I will starve you to death. So the old brown beard says that if you want to see the bird of happiness, hold it the he waited. He said he put it a break and full stop, and he said you must poison old gaffer Silong. So here you want to poison old gaffer Silong. Here you want to kill the Liu Song's mother. So you should keep remember. They may ask for 1 mark. And if you won't do it, he said he will kill you. So this is about 12th para. So let's come to 13th para. Looking him defiantly in the face, Vanja replied, "You can shout for all you are worth, but I am fond of my own grandpa, and I will never kill another man's." So looking him very much seriously, Vanja replied, "You can kill me, but I am happy of my grandmother. So I will never kill any other man," as he said in the last for the black beard monster. He said for brown beard monster the same thing. In a fury, the old man blew through his long beard, and Vanjia bread bag flew into the. Let's come to 14th para. And Vanjia bread bag flew into the sky. Before his eyes, the blue mountain and green rivers were turned into a boundless desert with not a scrap of food to be found. So, as you know, in the last parasite, the brown beard monster said to Vanjia to bring old Gaffer Silong first, to give poison to old Gaffer Silong. He did not accept it, and the brown beard. So the brown beard monster punished him. He said to Vanjia, so the Vanjia's bread bag flew into the sky. So before he opened his eye, the blue mountains and the green rivers became boundless desert. So it became the desert, and there were no food available for Vanjia. So this is about 14th para. Let's go to 15th para. Vanjia set off again. After the first 100 miles, his stomach began rumbling with hunger. After the second 100 miles, he was so hungry that his head swam and he began to see stars. After the third 100 miles, he was so hungry that there was a sharp pain in his guts, as if they were being cut by a knife. Anyone who ever starved knows what he suffered. Vanjia went to a river, drank plenty of cold water, and continued down his way. But that time he reached his journey end, he was nothing but skin and bone. So after that, Vanjia started journey in the desert. So for at first 100 miles his stomach became rumbling, very much became hungry, and in second 100 miles he was so hungry. So he was so hungry and became very much tired that he was seeing the stars. He would begin to see the star, means he became very tired. After the third 100 miles he was so hungry that there was a pain in his guts, means he has anyone cutting by a knife. So anyone cutting by a knife, anyone whoever who suffered from this would have would have know the how is Vajja feeling now. So Vajja went to river, drank plenty of water and continued his journey after drinking the water. But at last he reached the journey's end. He was nothing but a skin and bone, because he lost in his bones in first black beard. Monster gave him to walk on screes. He lost his legs and hands. Now he lost his body full. So this is about 15th para. So I will explain next from here to next today evening. Yeah, I will leave next video before today evening. So till here watch the video, understand the chapter and like the video, and for more videos subscribe my channel. Thank you.